Hi, I'm Doug Llewellyn. William Shatner and I are proud to bring you this most important series that focuses on the impact that entrepreneurs are making on our nation and our lives. You know, part of keeping the heart of America strong lies in helping the businesses of America to be successful. The question is, how do we do that? In the competitive business world of today, in order to succeed, companies need the right teamwork, the right leadership, the right employees, and of course the right motivational programs. Our guests today provide their clients with that and with a lot more. They are helping large Fortune 500 companies as well as smaller businesses, from manufacturers to retailers to government agencies and nonprofit organizations throughout the world to operate in a much more efficient, productive, and profitable way. Now, that obviously is a very tall order, and we are about to find out just how they go about fulfilling it. Our guests are from an organization known as the Hays Group International. It's headquartered in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. It really is a pleasure to have them with us now. On my left, Dr. Merwin Hayes, who is the CEO and the president of the company. On his left, Marge Hayes, who's the vice president of the company. Welcome, folks. Nice to have you here.
Thank you.
Let me take a moment and point out that Dr. Hayes is a former professor of communications at several major universities, including Wake Forest in North Carolina. He's also the author of several books, one of which was known as The Belief System, a practical approach to motivation. And there are other books. We can talk about those in a bit. And I should point out that Marge has been in the business world, had a very successful career with a major Fortune 500 company in the area of human relations, and recently decided to join her husband in this venture in the Hays Group. Let me ask you a quick question. I know that you are kind of known as the coach of teams. We're not talking about sports teams. We're talking about business teams. I mean, that is a great tag to have. What have you done to get that moniker?
I think lived long enough to have the opportunity to work with some really very capable people and have the opportunity to help them become even better at what they were doing. I think it's a matter of the number of people I've worked with, and some of them reasonably well known.
Some of them happen to be coaches.
Right.
Like Tom Landry of the Cowboys and others. So, and we'll get into that very shortly. I wanted to ask you a little bit about when you walk in the business world, in most offices these days, as you know, you walk around, everybody's sitting at a desk, they're all staring at computers. It's as though human interaction is being replaced by it's human with the computer. Is that the way it is most places, and do you think that's what we're coming to in the world of business?
I think it is in most places, and interesting enough around the world. And
I think it even is in our office when we start emailing back and forth across the wall.
Yep. That
Instead of walking over.
says it all right then and there.
That's the truth. But I think we all know there's a tremendous value to that. My BlackBerry, our computers, and the speed and the sense of urgency gets accomplished. But in the way, that valuable piece from our experience also gets in the way, if you will, of people working together, people, if you will, don't know if they're coming or going. I mean, it's a world in which we're just strung out in many directions, and that part of it gets in the way. And our role, along with many other companies I know, is to try to help that group of human beings that got all kinds of things going on work together to get someplace, individually or collectively.
You know, you do this with corporate leaders around the country, around the world. What, from your perspective, are the big problems that you encounter in companies that you deal with?
Well, I think one is just we're normal human beings, and therefore people see things differently, and they have different, if you will, behaviors, and it's tough to deal with each other. Yeah. The sales department and the operations people, the people that are from China and the people that are from different parts of the world even. But those differences in people and the inability sometimes to understand the value of the differences, and if you put it together, what it can accomplish. It's, I think, a tremendous problem.
Amazing. How do you describe, Marge, what the Hays Group does?
We go into an organization when invited, and we actually usually start anywhere from top to bottom, but most frequently from the top. Someone might invite us in, they've heard about us, or they've been a prior client, they've got a specific issue, or they're just wanting to get better with what they already do. And we come in and look at, help assess, help figure out where they are right now, find out what the problems are, and bring our consultants and our toolkits with us and make things happen that ends up to be good results from it.
Let's talk for a moment about your team. You talk about bring your consultants in. What does the Hayes Group actually consist of? Obviously, the two of you.
It consists of 25 people located in various places in the U.S. and a few other places in the world, who are all, that's the thing I'm proud of, who are competent people in the field that they're in, a wealth of experience, most often from the business world itself, have proven themselves to be good as leaders, as team players themselves, who have tremendous care and concern for helping those folks they're working with in a way that is truly for them, not just a package off the shelf.
And are most of these people, are they former executives in the world of big business, or not necessarily?
Not necessarily. Some of them are out of the university world, like Merwin. Some of them are very young. Some of them come from other large consulting firms and have had great experience around the circuit to begin with.
Okay.
And wanted to make sure it was clarified. When I said we bring our team in, we don't bring all 25 people in.
Oh, no, you hand select which members.
Right, that's why we have
right?
choose who's best for whatever position or whatever we're doing, or who happens to be the right person available.
All right, let's get specific. Typically, who would be the one at a company to call you in?
Well, a company? Well, it could be a large aerospace company. It could be if you will, a retail company that is being acquired or somebody's acquiring them. It's people where there is change.
So it would be the top level, the CEO or someone on that level?
Often more senior level, but sometimes HR folks that are really, it's delegated to them that they do something with regard to elevating the people within the organization.
And in essence, when you come in, I know it varies with different ones, but what are the most common problems that they're going through that they need help with?
Problems with people that aren't, if you will, aren't being the best leaders they can be. A subset of that is that they have a communication flaw, if you will, in which they are too tough on the people they're dealing with, and people are not happy with that, and you don't get the productivity, and some people leave. Or it's a problem perhaps in that they're too operational and not strategic enough at their level. So there's individuals that aren't the best they can be, and we're called in to be helpful to them. And it's not that we have any magic, it's just that we are a process and I think a concern to help identify it and help them do better.
So give me an idea, Marge, I'll ask you what you do when you go into a company. What happens?
Well, we would meet with the CEO, and if they particularly have a specific issue, for example, there might be a team development issue where they're just feeling like their team isn't working well together, and that would be the senior team. And so we would recommend quite frequently that they would do a specific team development process that we have. And in that process, we interview each person. We use some of our tools, such as our behavioral styles tool, which lets people better understand not only themselves, but each other and how they are interacting. And we really get at the real issues, the heart of what's wrong individually and privately before we bring them together as a team. And we've had some ferociously serious team issues that Merwin, I think, is kind of the key person that's able to bring out the most horrendous things that are happening, get them out into the open, and have people talk to one another without ruining the organization or destroying the team. And quite frequently that works, whereas an individual member that wasn't able to be a good participant, or two or three factions are able to come together and result in a functioning team rather than a dysfunctioning team.
So you do this a lot one-on-one with these executives.
Yes.
Right? You seem like a very kind, nice gentleman. What are you like when you're going through this process with, let's say, the CEO of a major Fortune 500 company?
I think all of our people have if you will, a style about them in which it's not overwhelming. If we're really going to help somebody, they've got to not feel threatened. They have to feel that we truly care and we're listening. And it's not some game we're playing.
Right.
I think it's the profile of the folks that work with Hayes, and that's a part of the profile. And I know that myself, I know other people in our organization have heard somebody not too long ago, a senior CEO, say, Merwin is unassuming, and then you wake up and you discover, wow, he's just really pinned me with regard to what the problem is, and It's amazing how good it's feeling, but it's a process and a style, and we're all different. Every Hays person, thank goodness we're different. But the core of it is that ability to really listen and not pretend we're going to hit you over the head to pound some sense into you, but just the opposite.
And
to
how
help you.
often do you find that the major problem lies with, you know, the people at the top?
Well, there are a good many probably employees and mid-level managers that would say often. And
Yes.
in many cases it does.
It
But
does.
that's not fair either. There's some really exceptional leaders, and the problems are in other pieces.
So the other aspect of it is once you've had the chance to meet these executives that have called you in and you've talked with them, deal with them, how long does the process take? This doesn't happen overnight, does it?
No.
I mean, it's what, is it like an engagement that could take you 6 months to fulfill your task?
In some cases, if we were doing a whole organizational assessment, but for example, in what I just described, no, we don't drag things out, so that literally can happen within a 3-week process if they're ready to go
3
do
weeks.
it. Once we've identified that's what they want to do, if we can schedule it and they can get scheduled.
And you work with teams too, as well as
That's right.
individuals, right?
Right.
Sales teams, other teams.
Other teams, right.
And it's interesting because you said what you do, you're not motivational. You're really
No,
correctional more
we're-
than motivational, right?
You know, pardon the language, we're not rah-rah. We're
Yeah,
not
exactly.
out there getting the adrenaline flowing.
Right.
We are investigating, using a tool we have, what the real motivation problems are that's up here in their own beliefs.
Right.
And then, with their help, quite frankly, getting that to move forward. Whether it's pulling on their own part, not us telling.
How successful are you at helping your clients?
Well, I think we're mighty successful. That sounds
I'm putting
proud,
the question to you. This is your chance to be honest and say,
Right.
your clients, I mean, obviously they wouldn't call you back, you know, or other companies
No,
wouldn't call on you.
and you don't see us in a billboard in the Heathrow Airport, so
Right.
We've worked with 1,400 clients, companies in the world. That's all because of the people themselves talking about what we do, and we couldn't do that for 31 years if we didn't have, if you will, some credibility, and credibility means helped human beings really do better.
Well, it's a pretty amazing story about a company that does big things for a lot of companies all around the world, as you've just heard. We're going to examine some success stories when we come back, and that'll be in just a moment.
We have been watching the operations of an organization which is doing its part to keep America strong, and we've been learning from its leaders about what they're doing to help move our country forward. This organization represents companies across our great nation that embody the spirit, dedication, know-how, and can-do attitude which has made America the great nation it is today. And now let's present the Keeping America Strong Award.
It's my honor to present this prestigious award to Dr. Merwin Hayes, the president of the Hayes Group International of Winston-Salem, for the outstanding work his company is doing to help keep America strong. Dr. Hayes, pleasure to give this to you. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. It's not just about me, however. It's that group of folks that work with us who really do the job of keeping the heartbeat of America going and have the concern and love for the Americans.
Thank you very much.